So for me, my last one is going to be Bones and All, and I think this is based on I think young adult fiction type novel, and this is directed by Luca Guadagnino. I messed that all up. But the story goes is this: love blossoms between a young woman on the margins of society and a disenfranchised drifter as they embark on a 3,000-mile odyssey through the backroads of America. However, despite their best efforts, all roads lead back to their terrifying past and a final stand that will determine whether their love can survive their differences. And that synopsis leaves out quite a bit. But let's talk about this cast. Timothy Chalamet is one of our main characters. Our main character is Taylor Russell. You might have seen her in the Escape Room franchises, and there's another movie I saw her in recently as well. But we also get Mark Rylance, Chloe Sevigny, Michael Stolberg, Madeline Hall, and Anna Cobb in this film. I will say this, man. I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed this film, man. Like, the premise is crazy. The part that they're leaving out, if you just, I don't think this is going to be spoilery, but they are afflicted with a condition that causes them to need to eat flesh. And for some reason, it seems to manifest in the people that do have it when they, are in their teens. And that's kind of how this film starts. When we meet our main character, Marin, she's dealing with this manifesting. And what's interesting, though, is we're kind of joining the film in the middle of it. Also, yeah, we got to talk about who's left out of this cast, man. Andre Holland is also in this film in the beginning as her father, man. And from what we get in this film, like I said, we're picking this film up in the middle of all this stuff. So it seems like the father is aware of her condition and is doing what he can to protect her. And you could tell that this has greatly impacted his life, man. But something happens in this film where, authorities are alerted and he can no longer protect her. It's to the point where like you see the extremes that he's went to try, but basically she wakes up the next day and he's gone. He leaves her a note, tells her to take care of herself, and it goes on from there. And from that point on, she's on her own, man. And I think what stands out to me is how realistic this thing feels, man. They're not supernatural or anything. It just seems to be a thing that, maybe it's a genetic thing or what, and what's interesting about it, there's other people like her out in the world. And one of the first encounters when she realizes this, she encounters a stranger just in the middle of at night, passing, and he approaches her and says hi, and he says, "I smelled you." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, as you get older," and he's a much older guy, and he's like, "As you get older with this, you'll be able to do it too. You'd also be able to tell when people are about to die," because that's one of the aspects of this thing that I love so much. It's they're living in the margins, like the synopsis says, but then it's the thing that comes up. It's like you're compelled to feed, but who do you choose to feed on? Okay. What does that look like? And we get glimpses of that by the time we meet the character that she ends up, just linking up with, because they're similar ages. He's maybe a couple years older, but he's been out here fending for himself a little bit longer. And, they kind of join up a little bit, and then, and he teaches her, some of the rules and some of the survival things. And they, they start building a romance, man. And they eventually team up on some Bonnie and Clyde stuff, man. But like, it's really crazy to me because there are some really dark moments, man, in this film. And I think they're handled really well. It's not just shock value stuff. It's things that have impact and just make you wonder and make you think, man. And I think that's where this film stood out to me, because I wasn't expecting any of this, man. Like, I just saw glimpses of the trailer. I never really sat down and watched the whole trailer. And I figured with the bones and all and the way the trailer was going, there's going to be some kind of cannibalism going on in here. Like, there are a few, like, gory scenes, man, but that's not really what the total. I think that was just included just to fall in the lines of realism of what's going on. It doesn't feel shocky, or it is nasty, but it doesn't feel like they're just playing it up for the shock value of it, man. Because I think the story itself and the direction, the photography, and the acting speak for itself, man. It's not having to lean on those elements like I feel like some movies in the genre would have to. Like, so in the odd way, it feels more like a thriller. The gore does give it a horror element, but it didn't feel scary to me, man. There are some suspenseful moments, because like I said, they're on the run, trying to evade discovery, but like the storytelling, the acting, and all that, like it made this totally worth it. Like it almost to the point where I actually contemplated seeing it again, in this drought. I've seen Black Panther 2 4 times, man. I can't go no more.
I was thinking to say, I know you weren't gonna say no 2 damn times, because I've been counting.
But I was about to go to see this again. I might still do it, man. Like I had that much of a good time. I think this film offers enough just beyond the surface of the trailer and the story that, and the performances are great, man. They do a really good job, man. I think there was something that happened. Didn't they have a press conference or something with Chalamet, and they had to shut the shit down or kick everybody out recently? Because I
hadn't heard anything.
I think so. Maybe it was another actor, but he's one of those, teen kind of. I don't think he's a teen, but one of those heartthrob types that the young women swoon over. But they did a good job acting in this, man.
Watching the trailers for it kind of gave me the vibes I got when I was before I went and saw Doctor Sleep. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. Why I put that in my mind or whatever. I don't know if it's cinematography based or what, but that's what I've been getting vibes off of.
It could be, man.
Yeah,
it could be, man. But like I said, man, these characters are so well fleshed out, man. Especially one of the aspects of it that I really do like is that they're not people or beings, or I don't even know what you want to call them, that you could put in a box, man. And as we encounter other ones, we see how they've all kind of figured out ways to adapt to this. And some of them, the craziest thing about it, though, it seems like most of the people that are like them that they encounter are older, man. And it's crazy because it seems like living like this has warped them in different ways, man. And I forgot the one guy, man, played by he's really good in this too. Mark Rylance, this guy Sully, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, this thing, you're gonna watch this, man. Eventually, I know you said the cannibal shit freaks you out, but you won't be hitting me back about these performances, man, because I think everyone in this thing ate, man, like really well, dude. Like it's definitely one of the better things I've seen this year, man, overall, So yeah. This might make my top 5, man. It's gonna be tight this year, but I think it's about time we should start looking at that, getting that list together for the people, our top 15 for 2022, man. There might be room for this if we do the 15, man, the way we do it. But yeah, I would encourage you to go see it, man. It's definitely, just open your mind a little bit, man. It's not like this fast-paced thing. It does, take a while to play out. Let me see, how long is this thing? The runtime, 2 hours and 10 minutes, but so it's not at a rush pace, but I think it works because it gives you time to stew in some of this, man, and ponder and think about like the Andre Hollins intro alone, because in the beginning of the film it's him and her, and man, there's some acting, bro. That dude is good, man. Yeah, there's some acting going on in this movie.
He's from my town, Bessemer, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man. Close Savingi, all of them, dude, they're really great in this film, man. It's really good, dude.